a biosafety sticker, centrifuge, multiple refrigerators, red, brown, unknown liquids in gallon-sized containers, and refrigerated vials with unknown liquids. More than 1,000 samples were collected, stored safely, and secured safely at the Southern Nevada Health District Laboratory. Early this morning, all samples were carefully loaded into an FBI aircraft for transportation to the National Bioforensic Analysis Center in Maryland. We recognize that the public is seeking clarity. What were they testing for? What possibilities are being considered? However, as the sheriff mentioned, in cases like this, our process relies on being slow and methodical. From the collection of evidence to the testing of the samples, the process the FBI laboratory personnel engage in requires systemized, measured steps that cannot be rushed. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to everyone involved in the operation this weekend. When I was informed of my selection as a special agent in charge here in Las Vegas, I recognized the positive reputation that the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department had, but quickly learned more about their state-of-the-art Fusion Center. It is fitting that they were honored as Fusion Center of the Year by the National Fusion Center Association, distinguishing it as a top-tier, industry-leading, and highly effective 24/7 intelligence hub. I was profoundly impressed by the impact of the partnerships in action during this extensive operation. This weekend marked the first occasion on which I witnessed these capabilities firsthand, and our office is privileged to be part of the collaboration dedicated to serving Southern Nevada. I would like to express my gratitude to the extensive partnerships involved in this case. Thank you all again for the components from Metro, Las Vegas Fire and Rescue, the Clark County Fire Department, the 92nd Civil Support Team from Carson City, the Southern Nevada Health District Lab, and FBI employees from the FBI lab in Quantico, as well as employees from the Los Angeles, Phoenix, and Sacramento FBI offices. Next, I'd like to introduce Fire Chief Billy Samuels from Las Vegas Fire.
County Fire. All right, good afternoon. Billy Samuels from Clark County Fire. Kind of talk about who all was involved in this this past weekend and highlighting the relationships that we have with local, state, and federal partners. That's to include the Las Vegas Fire and Rescue, North Las Vegas Fire Department, Henderson Fire Department, as they mentioned, the Nevada National Guard, the 92nd Civil Support Team. They're responsible for that CBRN, that chemical, biological, radiation, and nuclear investigations. The 9th CST from Southern California assisted. Obviously, Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department did an amazing, had an amazing role. FBI, SNCTC, and the Fusion Center, as they mentioned, what an amazing collaboration that they have there. Brett Compton, the Division of Emergency Management Chief for the Nevada Homeland Security, the District Attorney's Office from Clark County, and the United States Attorney's Office. Emphasis needs to be placed upon the continued partnership that we have, not just for this incident, but everything this Valley experiences is done in collaboration with our partners. Whether it's a planned event or natural or man-made disaster, the dedication from each agency continues to impress me. The greatest word that I can think of is trust. Now I want to talk about the decontamination process that you're seeing right there. We'll have a decon unit there for the entire incident. It's there for decontaminating those that are working and ensuring their ensembles are removed and packaged properly. This also consists of the rehabilitation and medical standby for those working. This ensures we are not having any cross-contamination from the inside of the scene to the responder to the rest of the people in the warm and cold zones. All this costs a lot of money, as you can imagine. And while local agencies fund some programs, it is a large financial responsibility that is where the federal government assists. A large grant program within the federal government called the Homeland Security Grant Program, and for us we work under the UASI, the Urban Area Security Initiative, where we get some of these funding. We're grateful for this opportunity that we received this, and over the last 5 years, here are some of the agencies in which the UASI funded that were actually integral in this response. That was from the Southern Nevada Counterterrorism Center. We were able to receive a little over $4 million for their efforts. LVMPD Armor, as Sheriff mentioned, has a little over $1 million. Southern Nevada Health District and their public health analysts that we have assigned to the Fusion Center, a little over $500,000. Las Vegas Fire and Rescue and their Seaburn Hazmat Unit, that was $365,000. And the Clark County Fire Department for a total of $700,000. All those efforts were used this last weekend. It does take a team effort. In closing, I'm going to turn it back over to the Sheriff. I'm sure you have some questions, but thank you for this opportunity, sir.
I just add a couple comments, and as Chief Samuels mentioned, the cooperation amongst our first responder community here in Southern Nevada is truly exceptional. We've done this over and over and over again. This operation is not possible without that coordination and the professionalism of all of those partners, working seamlessly towards a common goal. Investigation also reflects how law enforcement has evolved, and LVMPD now operates one of the most advanced technology platforms anywhere in the world. From drones and robotics to real-time intelligence and remote command capabilities, technology played a critical role in allowing us to assess risk to protect personnel and to move quickly without compromising safety. I'll tell you that this incident was completed remarkably fast for what it was that we dealt with out there, how quickly they were able to move and do this safely. It's really mind-blowing, quite frankly. Since becoming sheriff, I've also made Homeland Security a top priority. We have some of the best counterterrorism hazmat units in the country, and we do not take shortcuts when it comes to protecting our community. Whether the threat is real, it's known, unknown, criminal, environmental, local, or international, our responsibility is to be ready and respond decisively. I want to thank a couple of gentlemen that are standing over here, in particular, Deputy Chief Chris Holmes, the Executive Director of the Southern Nevada Counterterrorism Center, Carrie Underwood, and our Counterterrorism Lieutenant Cody Thompson. These were some very, very long days leading multidiscipline approach teams, and you all did it exceptionally well, so thank you very much. I also like to say thanks to the residents in the neighborhood. This is a scary moment. They were very patient and cooperative over the weekend. I know there was a lot of fear and anxiety as this unfolded literally right outside of their homes. I do not take that lightly. I want to reassure you that everything has been remediated and there's no safety concern in the house or the neighborhood. With that, I'll take a few questions, and I'd just like to say there are aspects of this investigation that we don't know the answer to. So we're trying to be as transparent about everything it is that we know, and we will answer your question if we can. David? So the question is what do we think these people were doing with those substances in the house? And I'll tell you, the truth is we don't know yet. We're actually looking to see, as we move forward in this investigation, how to answer all of those questions. I certainly have them as well. But the reality of it is we had an operational period that we were working around the clock for multiple days. We've safely remediated that part of it. Now the tough part of the investigation moves forward. That's where we're at with it, and we're going to continue that.
Was it ever searched before? I don't know that I could comment on that, or I have knowledge of that. It was searched over the weekend because of intelligence gathered and other means of corroboration of that intelligence. That's why, in partnership with Las Vegas Metro, we executed state search warrants to ensure even an allegation of biohazardous material, right? You're talking about serious allegation, so you don't want to risk whether it's true or not, something like that being contained in a neighborhood. So I think we took our time, we accumulated the right resources, the real subject matter experts, biologists and whatnot, to properly conduct an analysis of what was in that garage. And, there's a lot of things that we recovered in that garage that we safely packaged and sent to the lab. We don't know what they are yet. We'll let the subject matter experts do their analysis, which will take some time, and then we'll report back on what those results are. Sir? We have no knowledge that he had any expertise or is in that area, or he's somewhat of a trained biologist, no. Not at this time. Sir? Yeah, I anticipated that question. Again, this is a methodical process that has to follow a lot of lab procedure and protocol. I'm not a trained biologist. The sheriff isn't a trained biologist. So we'll let the lab technicians and the SMEs do whatever they need to do, and they'll report it. And when we have something, we'll certainly report that back.
Yeah, so the question is Mr. Solomon was the manager of the house on both Sugar Springs and Temple View, and had we found anything in the Temple View address? I apologize, I didn't address that today because I did that previously, but the FBI conducted the warrant simultaneous on Temple View as when Metro hit Sugar Springs. There were a number of people inside of that residence. We have zero connection between the two addresses as far as this investigation goes. Go ahead. Yeah, so we can, you want to go cover that part?
First off, he's arrested on state charges. Mr. Solomon, he is the property manager for both the locations that we searched this weekend. He was charged. What was the state charge exactly again? Yeah, it was how he disposed, or the lack of following procedure around how he processed those materials in the house, and that was the local charge. We're not ready to talk about federal charges. I think the focus of this weekend was the health and well-being of the community, focusing on processing the evidence. I think the investigation, as the sheriff alluded to, will hopefully illuminate some of those answers. But again, the focus of this 48-hour period was systematically breaking down that house, processing what was in there, and getting the test results. Obviously, the investigation is just starting now. So. Go ahead.
My question, I'm not sure actually which one of y'all is better to address these, but are there concerns to look for other houses or properties in the valley that could also be involved in this? And if someone happens to think that their neighbor or somebody is involved in it, would it be best for them to contact Metro, call 911, contact the FBI?
Yeah, the question is, says there's other residences or businesses that are concerning or connected with this individual. I can tell you that there are a number of locations that we thought could potentially be associated with Mr. Solomon, and we've ruled all of those out as being connected to this particular investigation. The second part of that question was, who should the public contact if they believe that they've come in contact with this individual, either the FBI or Metro? You feel free to give either one of them a call. Sir? So the question is there any exposure to anybody that was in the home, to include our first responders? The answer to that is no. And there's a certain means and method that you have to dispose of this material, and that did not occur within that. We can provide a little bit more insight on that after the press conference. Anybody else? Yeah, we're not prepared to answer whether there's any connections between that case and our case at this point, but I can promise you that is one of the areas that we are looking at. Yeah, the question is the timeline, and that's what we addressed. We don't know yet. You know, I can tell you we're pushing very hard because we want to know as well, and we will provide you the update on additional charges as well as what those substances are in the near future. Last one, go ahead. You.
Very Keeler, Channel 13. Just to reiterate to people who have been asking lots of questions about our social media as it's all been unfolding, there was not and there is not any danger in the air quality or even the water supply in that area.
So the question is there any danger in the air quality or the water supply? We did all of that testing, and there's zero threat to the public. It was contained within that garage, and we'll provide you some updates as we get them. Thank you.